Hi, this is Sandy with GlobalMana. Protecting our oceans, rivers and streams is one of the most important things we must do if we are to continue to thrive on this planet. We travelled to Maui, Hawaii to speak to environmental scientist Robin Knox about the challenges involved in preserving water quality.
Many people, when they think about water, think about the quantity of water, which is of course important, but often they forget about the quality. What we do with the quantity of water really impacts the quality of the water. Where the water flows determines what kind of materials are there, what kind of soils, what kind of biogeochemicals like nitrogen and phosphorus, how much oxygen, how much iron, and that determines what can grow there, what kind of plants live there, what kind of animals will live there. So the quality of the water really defines the quality of the habitat, and that natural flow of the water, whether it be a spring that flows all the time or a stream that only flows when it rains, that natural hydrology, that movement of the water, in Hawaii we say from Mauka to Makai, from the top of the mountains, from the rainfall that gathers on the top of the mountains. It goes through a whole system of plants and rocks and soils that collect the water, goes underground, and it picks up everything from all of our activities. It picks up fertilizers, it picks up pesticides, it picks up the rubber off the tires of your car and all the heavy metals that come with that. When we dispose of our sewage in the ground, it picks that up too. And all of that comes out into the ocean. In recent years, the coral reef has become somewhat of a symbol for water quality because the reef is a complex ecosystem that needs clear waters to grow in. And when we have sedimentation, when we have nutrients that cause overgrowth of algae, this can kill off the coral reef. There can be competition for space. The coral polyps can't land and make new coral. And in addition, some of the changes we make to the land, drainage and hydrology and navigation, can also change the coastline. Building buildings on the coastline changes all that water movement, all that hydrodynamics. And that can affect the coral physically as well as the chemical effects of what we do on the land. Like many places in the world, we're experiencing blooms of algae that were smothering the reef, covering all the coral. And the scientists actually measure percent of the bottom that's covered with coral. And some of these areas where the algae was overgrowing, for instance in this bay, Maalaea Bay, it used to be 75% coral cover on the bottom and now it's 4%. At least part of that is due to water quality, probably sewage injection as well as runoff from agriculture and urban areas. So it's like the poster child for decline. If you want to swim in the water, if you want fish and coral to grow in the water, if you want to have water you can drink or water your crops with, you have to take care of it and take care of the quality of it. And that means taking care of the whole system. The Hawaiians knew this. They call it Ahupua'a system, where they manage the land and the water, Mauka to Makai. They had people responsible for controlling the flow of the water, and those people understood how that flow impacted the plants, like the kalo plants and the lo'i, the taro plants, how it affects the plants in the stream, how that affects what algae and what fish grow in the ocean. In the Kumo Lipo, in the creation myth of the Hawaiians, there's a beautiful story that relates that there's a plant with this name on the land, there's a plant or an animal in the sea with the same name. There's a correlation and interdependency between what happens in the forest and what happens in the ocean. This particular beach, we get a lot of sediment washing down from the forest and from the ocean. Sometimes you'll find cow bones or pine cones or burned wood, so it's kind of a reminder. This is the ultimate sink, the ocean. And everything we put out to the water environment ends up here. And you can put it on land, and even in a dry place like Kihei, and you think, oh, that's not going to the ocean, but eventually the wind or the water will take it there. My hopes from the beginning, and it's still my hope, is that we can get the adequate financial resources to do the work that needs to be done, and that my corporation and other corporations in the environmental business will find right livelihood here for our local people here who could have environmental careers taking care of this island, this water, these resources. You know, right now we kind of have to import our expertise, and my dream would be that we have a county-wide watershed management program that manages water quality, and that we have local businesses who hire people as well as the county hiring people to be environmental scientists and to earn their living taking care of what everyone agrees is the most beautiful island in the world.